You're listening to Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, I am in the safest place in Tarrant County. I have 4 ex-Marine, or no, there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. I'm sorry.
We're all still Marines.
Still Marines. 100%. You know, I forgot. Jack has taught me, don't say the ex-Marine, no such thing. It's formerly active duty Marines. All right. So I'm very safe right now. So, you know, any shenanigans go on, Josh and I will be just fine. We'll be hiding over there by the cameras. But anyway, we're going to talk about Toys for Tots and the Marines for that. And that's a great event. And Jack's this is your 3rd time to do it, right?
Actually, this the 4th time that we've done it here in Burleson area.
Okay.
So we're excited about
Yeah, and last year is the best one you ever had.
So far. Yeah.
Well,
but this year's going to be better.
It always is. And we're going to, not that we're going to get into the politics that much. I handled that on Monday. I set that aside. But, there's going to be some people that's going to be hurting this Christmas. So I'm hoping that people respond to this opportunity.
Well, there's 50,000 people in Burleson alone.
Mm-hmm.
If just 10% of those families had a problem, that's 5,000 families that could possibly need some help with their providing toys for their kids.
Easily. And I've been talking to a couple of my friends over the nonprofit world, over at the food banks, and they're already getting hit because people are anticipating issues. But again, we can talk about that as we get to that. I don't want to spend all my time talking about that. We're going to talk about Toys for Tots. But let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. Now, y'all know Jack Matson. He's been on the show a few times before, and he's a well-known Burleson bon vivant, I guess you'd call it. Because I see him at the chamber meetings, and I see him at our BNI meetings, and I see him going table to table at the restaurant. Do you have insurance? Do you have you have a legal shield? Do you have a legal shield? And that kind of thing. So y'all introduce yourselves, please.
My name's Chris Lopez. I was in the Marine Corps for roughly 11 years. Now I'm a realtor in the area, and obviously a member of the Marine Corps League, which I'm very passionate about.
Who you associate with on the real estate?
United Real Estate, DFW Properties.
I believe does Lori Dias part of your crew?
No.
Okay, I'm thinking of somebody. She's with somebody else then. Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay, and we've had you on before, so.
Yes, I guess I could turn this a little. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, sir. My name's Holly Franks. I am a retired school counselor, tech teacher,
And-
all that good stuff.
And you're the group's prom queen, I understand.
Yes,
Is that right?
Yes.
No, I'm their social media, whatever, but Brandon and Chris have actually stepped up and been helping a lot with that too, which I've been very grateful for.
Well, that's good.
I spent 8 years and 8 months in the Marine Corps as a computer nerd. Made sure General got his email at 2 a.m. because that was important.
Yes, it is. And you, sir. Oh, I got you right in the middle of a drink there. Sorry. That happens a lot. It's a live show. All right, so you are.
My name is Brandon Foose. I served 7 years in the Marine Corps as a crash fire rescueman. I was a firefighter, and I started doing Toys for Tots my first year in 99 down in San Angelo while I was going to Fire Academy, and been part of the Marine Corps League about 9 months, I think now. And I work for Sun State Equipment, and we do equipment rentals, and I am a territory manager for them.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Jack, Sydney says, hey, she's watching our show. So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a very nice young lady. All right. All right.
Wonderful lady, yes.
Yes, she is. All right. Well, we're going to do the sponsors real quick. Now, by the way, vast listening audience, we've been having internet issues all week. Now, Josh has been on top of it like a hound dog, and he's going to make sure that it does as best it can, but sometimes these things are out of our control. So we're going to keep right on recording. So this also is on YouTube. So if your connection drops, that's where you can see the rest of the show. But we're going to do the best we can.
I got good news for you. We are holding steady. So
okay, but Monday we had all sorts of issues, but that's just nature of doing live shows, and stuff like that. But let's do the sponsors real quick because that's the important thing because they pay for all this.
Absolutely,
y'all know Otto over at our place. I'm sure y'all been there before. He has that place now down the street about a block and a half from here, and I haven't been to that one because I go to the one that's closest to me, the one on the highway, and I hear the food's just as good and the service is just as good.
One in Arlington's good too.
Yeah, that's his brother runs that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's my father-in-law's favorite place.
it is. Well, now it's a good place to go. You get, the service is good, food is good. Every other Thursday morning, my friends in Sunday school get together, the men do, and we try to solve the world's problems, but now we just give up. We just talk about football. But anyway, also Gina's Pizza. It's always a great evening. Sunday nights they got this live routine. I mean, people coming in every Sunday night, and it's crowded. I mean, I've been there on a couple Sunday nights, and you better get there before the show starts because you may be standing. So, but it's a really good pizza place, and it's a good place to do business. And he's very supportive. He's going to have boxes in his restaurants for y'all. So thank you all for all you do. Thank you, John Williams, Old Pro Roofing, 817-734-2756, a BNI compatriot of Jack and mine. And he'll come out and inspect your roof for nothing, all right? And you need to have your roof inspected because if you have bad weather this winter, it's a bad time to find out your roof isn't any good. When it's leaking through the ceiling or something like that, I said, I should have called O-Pro. I should have listened to Allard's podcast. But he came out and inspects my roof every summer, and he'll tell you your roof's good or it's not good. And he no upsell, no doomsday scenarios or whatever. He said your roof is fine. Thanks for the time, and that's about it. But if you do need a new roof, he'll help you do with the insurance company, which he'll tell you not all insurance companies are the same. Now, I got Texas Farm Bureau, and I'm dealing with them right now, and they're dealing with me fine. Not for a roof, but for a car. But it's they do well for me. But some of them, he tells me, I won't name them. He says some of them can be pretty difficult. So anyway, 817-734-2756. You may know this gentleman, Chris, is Jack Kelly over at the Wethington Agency. He's going to be on the show Tuesday of next week. We're going to talk about interest rates and also real estate. He sells all over Johnson County. He's at 817-781-0546 or Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. He also is a BNI member, one of our newest ones. And he really knows his real estate, and he sells all over. Not just Burleson, but boy, he's doing a lot of business in Godley, that's for sure. I don't know. Y'all live around this area, I guess? Burleson area. And so you've seen it grow. I've been here. I started teaching here in 88, and I moved here 3 years later in 91. And I tell you, it's a whole lot different town. And most ways pretty good, except for the traffic. Too many stoplights. Anyway, there you go. I got my political point across. 817-781-0546. Also, Tiffany Jane over Local Life Magazine. You should have it in your mailbox either Saturday or Monday. 30,000 homes get it. A good place to advertise. Give her a holler, and you'll be able to get your ads made. And she does a really good job, real quality work. I see it at a lot of retail outlets. I see it like I was over at Caliber Collusion, I believe, and I saw a couple of extra copies lying around. So while you're waiting, you can look through it and that kind of thing. So Local Life Magazine, check it out. Also, another BNI compatriot, and this would be our friend Al. He's got a couple of over at Bass Printing. He's got a couple of business arrangements going on. He could do all your promotional items for your hats and cups and T-shirts and pins, pencils, you name it. You can slap your logo on it. So call him at 817-616-8761 or at bassprinting.com. He could do 1,000 business cards. Jack goes through that in about 2 weeks. So at $65, right?
He did my business cards.
He did, and mine too. And I did some brochures for the show and some mailers and stuff like that. He's done all those for us. He does our banners. We'll be at that business showcase in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did all the printing for that as well. So there you go. So give him a call, 817-616-8761. He's local here. He works out of the hub. We have a couple of nonprofit things. We'll wait till the very end because Harvest House, I know, has a big deal going on next week. So there you go. Okay. Now, some people may not have know the background of Toys for Tots, but it started right after World War II, right?
1947.
47, yes. Yeah, right. And so, Chris, how long have you been involved in it?
I've only been with the Marine Corps League roughly 6 months. But so this is my first time doing Toys for Tots, but I think it's an amazing program. I was impacted by a similar program when I was a child, and to this day, I still have that toy.
Oh, really?
Yep. And my kids have had it, and my 19-year-old played with it as a kid, and now my 12-year-old plays with it. And the Spider-Man car still have it.
So your 19-year-old still plays with a Spider-Man car.
Yeah, my 12-year-old. I still play with it. I still play with it. It's a great car. It's a great car.
Keeps you out of the pool hall. That's all that matters.
It's been taking its licks, but it's still around.
And Holly, this is not your first one, though. I know.
No, I know I've done like the last year or two. I know I did last year here. I mean, I've heard about it for years, and kind of like Chris, when I was in the Marine Corps, I don't know if it was Toys for Tots or where the toys came from, but on more than one occasion, as a single parent in the Marine Corps, I got help from somebody.
Somebody helped you. Yeah.
And so there's a pretty good chance it was probably Toys for Tots.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And you said you'd done this before.
Yes, sir. I started in 1999 at San Angelo with the Marine Corps there, and I was on a working party just sorting toys. And I was kind of envious because a lot of the other Marines that already had their dress blues, I'd only been in for a few months. They got to go to the mall and collect. And when I was in Japan, we didn't really do it over there. But when I got back, I was at Cherry Point, and I finally had some dress blues, and I got to go out to the mall in Greenville, North Carolina, and stand there and collect toys. And just a quick story about that first time, there's two little boys, and I think it was KB Toy Stores was still open back then in the malls. And these two little boys came walking up, and the one said, "Hey, look, it's a soldier." And the other one said, "That's not a soldier, that's a Marine." Oh, boy. And it gives me goosebumps right now. Yeah. But that's when I realized the impact that the Toys for Tots program has on the general public. And you see the commercials and getting to help out and give kids, toys when a lot of them, like Holly mentioned, may not have had that opportunity. Just it's such a fulfilling feeling when you get to do that. So,
well, I bet I don't have to tell you this, but Jack puts a lot of store in this project. I mean, he's been promoting it with our little group for about 2 months now, and I know it's near and dear to his heart. But you've done this, like you said, the fourth time here in Burleson. But this isn't your fourth time, though, is it?
Yeah, correct. I was actually, I was a instructor in San Bernardino in years past while I was on active duty, and that was a reserve program. So the Toys for Tots program is by the reserves, the Marine Corps Reserve, and we collected toys there. I filled up a whole warehouse full of toys that we had collected in San Bernardino County in California. So that was kind of my first introduction to it. That when I moved here to Burleson, got involved with the Marine Corps League, and the Marine Corps League was helping the Toys for Tots program over in Mansfield. When we did that for about 6 years to help them just kind of to work with taking the toys from the vehicles and stuff. And then I had a conversation with the mayor of Burleson, Chris Fletcher, and said, I'd like to do something here in the Burleson, Crowley area. And he says, oh, well, you must have do it over at the Chisley Hall Fields. So
the baseball fields, yeah.
Yeah, so we did, but there was a safety problem. We had vehicles lined up to drop off the toys. Then I had people walking in between the cars to get to the field where we were doing the demonstration. And the chief of police said, listen, we probably shouldn't do it here. So we moved it to the BISD stadium parking lot in Burleson, and that's where our event is every year. This is our fourth year of doing that, and if I can, I'll kind of explain a little bit how that works. But the 3rd of December is from 6 o'clock in the evening until 9:30.
There's your banner
on the banner,
yeah.
And what we're going to have is on the right-hand side of the stadium will be a stage that the city is loaning to us. And all of the performing arts students from the schools are going to be on stage performing, dancing and singing, and the cheerleaders and what have you. And once they get off the stage, they're going to go over and sit with Santa and get a picture of Santa as a group or individuals. And then there'll be some vendors there for hot cocoa and coffee and those things. But on the other side of the stadium parking lot is going to be our collection for the toys. So all the vehicles come in in line. And as they're getting into the area, most of the drivers come in kind of hunched over because their car is so full of toys. And when they open up the doors, the toys just fall out all over the place. But we have all the athletes, the football, baseball, soccer athletes with their jerseys on. and they're the ones that actually take the toys from the cars and put them into the boxes. And then we have the Boy Scouts take them out of the boxes and count them and put them in bags, and then they set them aside. And then the Marines, our Marines from MAG 41 open the NAS up in Fort Worth, they will put it in the truck and take it to the warehouse that's up in Fort Worth. Now, that's how we collect the toys, but getting the toys for the families is another process, and that is we go through a nonprofit organization, and there are 3 of them. Right now, we have the House of Hope here in Crowley, and we have the Harvest House, and we're working with Fountains Fellowship for them. They're making a decision on that here this next couple of days to whether they can help out. So they just call one of those locations, and they register the number of children they have up to age 12, boy or girl, whatever their age is, and then about the 15th or so of December, they receive a phone call to come in and pick up the toys at a designated time. They go into the Harvest House or House of Hope or into the Fountains and pick up the toys, and no one's the wiser who they are. I mean, it's already embarrassing enough to say I don't have money to take care of my children during Christmas.
Right.
So we're facilitating that, and we don't want to let anybody know about that. So they come in, they get the toys, and they're ready to take it back to their families.
Well,
that's the program that we're doing here in Burleson now and Crowley for the last 4 years. And last year we collected about 3,000 toys. We want to double that this year. And Brad, it's going to be, what you're doing right now with this podcast is going to help us make that number.
Hope so.
We want to shoot for about 6,000 toys this year, because that'll take care of about 3,000 children. And each of the kids get 2 toys each.
When it about comes to Christmas time, when I was a little bitty kid, we weren't destitute or anything like that, but we didn't have a lot of money, like most people back in the day. We were, middle class, working class. When I got older and had my own kids, I realized what sacrifices my parents made just to make sure my sister and I had toys for Christmas. All right. And now would toys be more expensive than they were back then even. But, my dad, he would do things like rehabilitate old toys to try to, and they were new to me, so that's all that mattered. Yeah. But you're not looking for used toys, though, right? You want new unwrapped toys, because this isn't a place to get rid of your kids' stuff. If you want to do that, we got resale shops, we got Rachel's Hope, we have Harvest House. You could do that there, but you want new unwrapped toys. Go to Target, go to Walmart, go to local toy stores, right? You gonna be all right over there?
Yes, sir.
You need to cut down to a couple of packs a day, all right?
It's so fun.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I've never picked up a cigarette in my life and have all these breathing issues. So,
okay.
Well,
I didn't say cigarettes. Anyway, so
not either.
This is your first time, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're really going to be moved by it. I mean, you really are. I mean, you're not there to see the kids. He's asking you to move the mic a little closer. All right. You're not going to be there to see the parents actually get the toys, but you're going to know just how people respond to what's going on. It's a real joyous evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I know that it feels good to donate a toy, but you don't actually get to see that impact, and it makes a huge difference with the kids. I mean, last year, the Marine Corps League as a whole collected roughly 30 million toys, and that helped 1 in 4 kids in need or that wasn't going to have a Christmas present get a Christmas present. And when you look at those numbers, it's insane how big of a difference that we're able to make.
And you said you've been doing this a long time, so do you actually get to see the parents receive the toys, or you just know in your heart that's what's happening and you're good with it?
Yeah, I haven't got to be a part of that. I did do a program similar to the Toys for Tots, and we actually got to deliver to a family that needed them. And you mentioned a few minutes ago some places where you can get the toys, and something we're doing different this year that I think is kind of unique to our Longhorn attachment is we actually set up a registry on Amazon. So you can go on Amazon if you don't have time to make it to Walmart or Target or wherever, and you can just search Longhorn 1069 Toys for Tots, and we've put a list of toys on there, and you can just on your phone or on your laptop or tablet go on there and purchase a toy, and it's going to actually ship to Sun State Equipment here in Fort Worth. And we've got a team over there that's going to be opening the packages, then putting them in the boxes. And then, of course, we'll collect those toys right before the December 3rd event that we have. So,
well, yeah, that's one way of doing it. But for me, when I was doing it last year, it was like good memories because, my kids, my son's 33, my daughter's 30. Yeah. You know, what do you want for Christmas, kids? Money. You know, okay, fine. Fine. You know, here it is.
Yeah.
But you know, I went to go to Target and I bought a couple of toys. And Jack had told me that a lot of people kind of focus on like toddler type toys or whatever. But what's the age limit?
Up to age 12.
12.
Yeah.
So I got some Star Wars related toys. Yeah. And it was fun for me because it was an old memory of going shopping for Christmas. And then, you know, my wife and I were able to give our kids, you know, a lot bigger Christmas than either one of us had when we were kids. Robin's family also grew up middle class. Her dad was a preacher in a small town, so they didn't have a lot of money either. And so we each got like a toy when we were kids. Now like some of the other parents, we spoiled our children, but whatever. But it was a lot of fun, you know, to go to Target and pick out what would a 12-year-old boy want besides, you know, getting in trouble, you know. And so I get it, you know, it's convenient and everything else, but I think you take it kind of the fun if they take that route. But you'll take the toy either way, right? It don't matter how it gets there.
You know, and one of the other ways that
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jack.
One of the other ways that we're able to collect the toys is through the businesses. If they have an entryway or a reception area and they can put a box up, invariably it kind of works well if they're close by to a store where they have toys. Obviously, if they don't have a reception area, that doesn't quite work. But that's wide open. On that flyer that you have, there's my phone number is on there. If a business owner would like to have a box, we'll be more than glad to deliver it to them. My number is 682-282-9226, and I'll deliver the box to you. You can use that. Just give me a buzz whenever it's full, or as we're getting ready on the 3rd of December. If you can bring it to the event on the 3rd of December at the BISD stadium parking lot, that would really be great.
Some of us old timers still call it Elk Stadium, though.
Elk Stadium, okay, because it's on Elk Drive.
Yeah, well, just before we had that other school across town, you know, it was Elk Stadium, but now we make them happy. We have to call it BISD Stadium and blah, 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 whatever. Chris, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, it's great when you donate the toys and that shopping experience, but I still think that for those that don't have the time to go shopping, that Amazon registry is there and available, and you're going to make a difference in a kid's life regardless, right? And just to mention a little bit more about that Spider-Man car, just watching that, it came from a police officer, right? I was roughly 6 years old. He walks in with a Santa sack, and our mom, she was a single mother, we weren't going to get any presents that year. She was heartbroken for it. And he walks in and with the Christmas sack, and he starts to pull those toys out. I correlate that a lot to me joining the Marine Corps, because at that moment I got a huge respect as a kid for that police officer that was servicing the community. And since then, I used to say I wanted to be law enforcement, but then the Marine Corps bug landed in me, and that's why I am the way I am. I cannot forget that day, how I felt.
I understand what you're talking about, respect for the uniform. You know, I've talked to Jack about this. I had Sandy Mason, the American Legion, on about a week ago. And you have to leave, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, then Holly, you can take his spot. Okay, well, good. Well, thanks for coming by. All right, and thanks for what you do. All right, he has a previous engagement, so we'll just shuffle the seats around a little bit. You take care. Anyway, I was told Jack this story. I told Sandy this story that, you know, when I was a teacher at Burleson High School, I would see some kids. I thought, boy, they need some direction. And they ended up joining the military, and I'm like, oh boy, they're going to have their work cut out for them, you know. And then I'd see them a couple years later when they come back on recruiting visits on the campus, and boy, they were just totally transformed. All the major services were there, you know. And I have to say, my dad was in the Army, a captain in the Army, so I am a little biased, but those Marine uniforms, those Marine blues, they got a lot of attention from the young ladies, I'll put it that way. And you meet this guy, I said 3 years ago, I thought it's either going to be in jail or under a bridge somewhere. And then he comes back with some, 20 pounds of meat on him and look you in the eye and shake your hand like a man and all this other stuff. And it's like, wow, for my dad, who was in the Army, he was in RTC, and he gets in the Army because my aunt threatened to give him a beating if he didn't find some direction. My older aunt, his older sister, is kind of like the
Matriarch.
Yeah, because his mom died when he was young. And boy, it sure benefited my sister and I over the years. And when I say we grew up in a military home, it wasn't like 5 o'clock reveille or anything like that, but a lot of the habits and attitudes, we were raised by. Show up on time, pay attention, stand up straight, do your homework, whatever, those kind of things. So, and so I've always been really, really partial to the military.
My boys got to experience the fun of that. We had so my boys are only like 18 months apart. And so we had a 4x4 landscape timber. Is that right? Did I call it the right thing?
Sure.
Anyways, and it, they called it Mr. Woody. It was, 5 foot long. And inevitably the boys would get in trouble together. So then they would have to do exercises together with Mr. Woody. He was their best friend.
And Chris, you were saying that, the Marines helped your situation because you would talk about single mom and all this. And, and now it's giving you got the real estate career going on and all this. And I'm sure a lot of those work ethic attitudes you carry forward from the Marines.
100%. So much of the man I am is because of the Marine Corps. After even my family's like, once you came back, even from boot camp, we don't even recognize who you were.
Which camp were y'all at in active duty?
As far as boot camp or
just where you spent most of your career as active duty?
Mine was pretty split between Quantico and Pendleton.
Okay. And how about you?
I was originally stationed at a Camp Pendleton in San Diego. I ended my career on I-9 training Reserve Marines in New Jersey, but I also got to visit some pretty cool countries, I guess. I don't know if you've heard of them, Iraq and Afghanistan.
They come in the news every now and then.
Yeah. Great times.
And I know you were in California, Jack.
Actually, I went to boot camp in San Diego, and when I went from there, I went out to Vietnam, done a tour in Vietnam, came back and was stationed in Lake Mead Base, which is about 9 miles out of Las Vegas. It was a Marine barracks where we stood guard and sergeant of the guard and those things. But we pulled Liberty in Las Vegas. It was a hardship tour. Somebody had to do it.
Yes, I know.
We went out there.
That's talking about serving your country. All right.
Then I got out of the Marine Corps and went back to college and picked up my degree and came back in as an officer in 1974 and found myself in the California Camp Pendleton area. And then ultimately, in 1996, I retired as a lieutenant colonel after 26 years. I loved every minute of it, and I think I would still be on active duty today if I wasn't so fat and ugly.
No.
And they won't
you have
let
to
me
be good looking to be a Marine?
And they won't let me have this mustache.
Don't worry about it, Jack. I picked up the ball in December of '96.
Yeah, right.
Is when I enlisted and got out in 2005. So.
Well, see, I was born in Fort Bragg, and nearby is Lejeune. And, Sandy and I were talking about that American Legion, a show last week, and, and he was talking about the Veterans Assistance Programs, and some of that is related to some of the problems they had at Lejeune. And I hope that the Marines are taking care of that, because there's some water issues. And
there's a big pollution issue that have been for over almost 20 years now. We've been dealing with that
Good grief.
situation.
Oh, wow.
It was a similar thing in Barstow. Well, it wasn't a military base that was on, but Barstow is the largest switching yard in America. That's where all the trains come in, and they separate the cars, and they go up to Frisco and down to San Diego and all over the place. And they weren't really watching what was happening to the fuels and the oils. And so they created a problem, and they've been working on that for about 20 years, too. So.
Oh, goodness. Well, let's talk about something more pleasant then. Go back to the Toys for Tots.
Well, listen, I want to say thank you to some really important people, because Michaela Hill at BISD
right, nowhere
has been instrumental in helping us with this program for the last 3 years, and she has assigned Ashley Logan to help me put together the students and the facilities director and stuff. And wow, what an incredible lady she is!
I've
and
met Ashley several times. Yes,
so helpful in helping us do this program. And it's a benevolent program that we really want the kids, we want the students to to participate in, so that they can get credit for a benevolent thing. That's what we're doing here.
Well, I know Dr. Jimerson, fairly well. All right.
Absolutely.
And I know that he really gets excited about these kind of community projects. He really likes having BISD involved in these things because it really reflects well on the district, and it's part of being a community and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I know that your response from them was probably not just yes, but heck yes, and that kind of thing. So I have no doubt about that.
And then from the city, Allison Smith is doing helping us with the stage and with the other support that we get from the city, and that's again another phenomenal assistance. And when I had Jessica Martinez, who has helped us for the years in the past, and so they're kind of transferring that together, working that together, and just really proud of the things that they're able to do to help us make this thing work. And I think we're really going to get to a very competitive stage with Mansfield, so we're going to be better than them.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to beat those guys. Have y'all accessed the farmers markets that we have? There's one, of course, the big one in Burleson. There's one on Sundays here in Crowley. It's run by the same people.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So Chaz Forster and his little organization runs both of them. And I've known Chaz for, not well, but I mean, we're acquainted, let's put it that way. But I've been acquainted with him about 3 or 4 years, and I know that he supports these kind of issues. So, that might be a good place to set up a box, or maybe there's some sort of reminder, I guess. Now, he's not real big about people working the crowd, so you'd probably need to call, get a table,
Right.
whatever, that kind of thing.
And when we were doing the golf tournament and getting ready for that, I had submitted a request for us to be able to go out there, and they put me on the waiting list.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
maybe I need to follow back up with that again and see if we can get back out there. I didn't even think about it for Toys for Tots. So
there's
that's a great
a
idea.
waiting list. I mean, I got on it on the waiting list. I wanted to do something for the show one Saturday, and they said, "Well, you gotta wait your turn, buddy," because now Crowley may be a bit easier to get on because it just started. But the Burleson one, when it started about 7 or 8 years ago, it was basically in the parking lot where the the city hall. And
I remember that.
About 12, 15 trucks and whatever. Now it's like this carnival every Saturday, and it is hard to break into that. But I'd give them a holler; couldn't hurt. And there's other community events going on. I mean, there's a lot of these things going on. Burleson is very, very generous.
It is probably the most benevolent community I've ever lived in.
Yes, I feel very fortunate. I've said this so many times it's redundant on the show, but how fortunate I am that I get to sit here in this seat and talk to all these people doing all these things and not getting paid. It's selfless work and whatever. You need something, Holly?
Chris's pen died.
His pen died. Josh, we have a pen.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. He'll look around.
That's what a phone's
It's
for.
all good. Well, that's true. That's true.
Okay, well, now we'll see what we got back there. We got to keep them busy.
Sometimes
back there.
it's easier just to scribble something than try to type it up on the phone.
Well,
It's not a big deal, sir. Don't stress over it.
all right. Well, okay.
I was just looking to see if there was one on the table over there.
No, we usually do, but I still forget things. I forget pens and paper and whatever. But back, that night, if you haven't been to that, it's really, really something. It's like on December 3rd, it's going to be like a little mini carnival of sorts. Now, without the rides, maybe, but maybe
no
next year.
I'm open to it.
Well, you never know. I mean, you get 3 or 4 little carnival rides out there for little kids.
Yeah, some bounce houses and a couple of things.
Bounce houses would be pretty easy to do.
Get something like that going on. It couldn't hurt.
I'm sure somebody would donate us to use them.
I don't know the companies, but I know there's a couple around here. But
we'll
do
give a couple of calls and see if we can get some help that way.
Yeah, I don't know if they have like somebody has a tilt-a-whirl in their backyard, but whatever.
No, but the bounce houses would be cool. Kids love those things.
And
the lines are always.
And you already have
crazy.
Santa. You say, now this is y'all's personal Santa, is he not?
Well, actually, this gentleman is the Santa Claus. I mean, Ryan Anderson.
Oh,
is
you got the big timer. Okay.
Incredible San Diego or Santa Paula. I mean, Santa Claus.
I mean, I think Jack would make a great Santa too.
I would too. Well, he said, "Where's
he'd
your
have to
beard?"
grow some more facial hair.
Yeah.
I think you're closer than Jack.
No, Ryan is well known for that. He's already started his beard,
Yes.
and I saw him at one of the events or chamber, and everybody's like, "Where are you going to be, Santa?" and all this other stuff, and then it's. And I asked him one time why, and he just loves doing it. It's not like it's weird or anything, but it's not something I would have thought off the top of my head. Now, that was about 25 pounds ago. Now, I'm good to go. But
When you got the beard started.
yeah, I got to started. Yeah, well, this is I didn't shave this morning. You know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway.
Well, Ryan is actually a professional Santa Claus. He actually belongs to an organization that comes to a training program, so he knows the history of Santa in worldwide. And when he comes to be part of your event, he actually goes through that information for you, so you can kind of get a good feel for what's going on. But he looks like Santa Claus, and he dresses like Santa Claus, and you just can't believe it. It's incredible.
Well, I'm not that surprised. In his high school days, he was a performer. He is
a wonderful singer.
Yeah, he was
an incredible voice.
He was the lead singer in the senior year in the musical. He was the lead in Seven Brides or Seven Brothers. All right, he was the elder brother. I forget his name. I've seen the movie many times, but he did it great. And so it didn't surprise me, like, still to perform. I had a lot of those type of students in my class, and they just can't get the bug out of them. I still see them in their 40s, and they're still involved. A lot of them and that kind of thing. But there you go. But I'm sure singing voices is like quality Marines highly value.
We do have the president's own band. So that's pretty important if you ask me.
Well, I'm just saying that's something I think a lot of the community needs to see on December 3rd, because you go out there and I know that we're doing something for others and all that, but we're the ones getting all the benefit from it. I mean, the joy of giving really is a real thing, right?
Absolutely.
And it's great to see when you go out there and you see so much people out there contributing to it. It really moves you.
And you see your neighbors, you see people you go to church with, people that your kids play together or whatever, and it's mutually supporting, and it makes you glad you live in Burleson. Because I talk to other people in other communities, and they're good people, but they don't have anything like this. All right, I don't know of these other events like that in Joshua or Cleveland or whatever. They may have them.
I know Joshua is collecting toys for Tots. I saw him posted. They've got a football game coming up.
For y'all's Toys for Tots?
7 November.
It's not. Is it for us?
No. Well, it's.
All I know is I saw it online. Yeah,
Okay.
7 November. It just says Toys for Tots. That's all I could tell you. I don't know who they coordinated with,
The
but
officer
I
in
saw that
charge of
the other
the
day.
ROTC program in Joshua High School is Lieutenant Colonel Davison. He's I spoke to him about 2 or 3 weeks ago about doing something, and I think this is a direct result of that. They're now having that opening game.
Right.
And during that, they're going to have some Marines there with boxes and be able to collect toys. And so they're asking people to bring a toy for admission. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And it's military and first responders recognition night that night as well. So
now, what if
they
somebody
said
wants
they'll
to
have
give
some
you?
kind of ceremony?
If somebody wants to give you money, do y'all take cash?
Well, they need to. We can take cash. If they write a check, it needs to go to the Toys for Tots Foundation. That's what it goes to, and then we facilitate getting that to the organization back in Quantico, Virginia.
So
And we have an online
On our website.
on our website mcllonghorn.org.
mcllonghorn.org.
Yes.
Josh is getting the nimble fingers already. But you prefer the toys. But somebody say, "Look, I don't know what a kid wants. Here's $100, whatever." You'll take that.
And that's
Absolutely.
and really what the dollars do is if we send that information to the Toys for Tots Foundation in Virginia, and we have a shortfall of toys, then they give us the money to go buy the toys, and then we take care of the kids that we need to take care of.
You're not going to have a shortfall. I'm going to speak that out right now. You're going to have more than you know what to do with. You're going to need extra number of trucks to get them over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the truck. It was a big old box truck, and it was overflowing last year. I remember that.
Now we have two other events that are happening that are they collecting toys, and Mike Purdue, who was with us the last time we were on.
I remember him.
Mike Purdue has a party that he's doing for realtors, and you can actually sign up and be part of that. I just was trying to buy a ticket last night from him yesterday, but so he's going to have a big event, and it will be at the
At Jellystone again?
Jellystone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
right
then-
across the street from where I live.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah, no, I live at Jellystone.
thank
and
you,
we hear them
Josh.
partying all night long.
Josh got the website up on the screen, and so you can access that.
So yeah, go to donations. If you click on donations, there's several different organizations that you that you can specify that you want your money to go to. If you go to donate now, that's just the general one, but you can always put in the comment Toys for Tots. But if you go under donations, there's a specific one.
There you go.
So
All right.
there we go. So there's
Yeah, if you mouse over the head again,
yeah,
Yeah,
and
so-
it's right there too. So
mouse over the donation thing, and you can see. So we have the Toys for Tots here, and we have wheelchairs for kids that we do. And
Oh, right. I
the
remember
June
that. Yes.
timeframe, jar head jams for some school supplies for the kids. And then if you just want to donate to the Marine Corps League to help us do other things for the veterans, then you can make a donation there.
Well, so y'all do more than just the toys. I know that Jack has been on here. When was it, about 3 months ago? You were doing the wheelchair.
yeah, the golf
kids,
tournament.
the golf tournament, right?
Wheelchairs for Kids golf tournament.
And you tell me that even the hardest Marine gets teared up when they see give that over to
Oh
a
yeah,
young
we
child.
what was the final amount? 20 grand.
$20,000 we gave to that organization, the Wheelchairs for Kids.
Well, that's good.
And we always present the chair, and it's a local kid, so that's
Right.
always
Yeah.
neat. And he was a military person this year. The dad was.
Yeah,
I forgot what branch. I want to say
Maybe
Army.
a little information on what happens there with the Wheelchairs for Kids is an organization. It's a nonprofit organization out of Florida, and when a family has a child that has a mobility problem for the rest of their life, they need a chair, but they also need to widen the doors. They need rampways in and out of the house. They need a lift to get in and out of the bathtub and the toilet and things. Those are all very, very expensive, and so they wind up going to Medicare or Medicaid to get the thing back. But that organization, that government program doesn't come back for 5 years. So this little child, maybe 3 to 5 or 7 years old, that has a chair, within a year or so, they grow out of the chair, and yet they have to contend with it for the rest of this 5-year period before the Medicaid will come back and replace the chair. So Wheelchairs for Kids kind of intercedes. It jumps in there and replaces the old chair with a new chair so they can make it the rest of that 5-year period for Medicaid to come in and help them. So it's Medicare and then Wheelchairs for Kids, Medicare, Wheelchairs for Kids, until they get to be about a teenager, and then they don't need, they don't grow out of the chair. But we have been supporting that organization now, I think for 7 years or so. We've
I
been
thought
doing
it was longer than
this
that,
with-
but yeah, a minute.
But yeah, we were able to get a lot of people out there playing golf, and had some great donations from many organizations, and we were able to give $20,000 to that.
Yeah.
And what was the
organization.
total, Jack? I know we got that number the other day of how many kids we've been able to help with wheelchairs since the organization started.
I
Or
thought
since
it was.
we
I thought it
started.
was 41. I thought it was 41 children that had received it. But the director of the program visited us last year and was interviewed, and she says, "No, it's not 41 kids. It's 150 kids."
And on our website, when you go to community services, underneath there we have different pages for all of our different organizations that we help out. And I've posted a link to that article underneath Wheelchairs for Kids.
That's
So if
incredible,
anybody wants to read that and learn more about it,
United
did a great
Cooperative
job.
Services. United Cooperative Services wrote the article and provided that. So it's an overview of what we were doing.
It
Thank
really
them
is
so
a
much.
phenomenal program. Like I said, I've only been with the Marine Corps League about 6 months now, and I had tried to join other veteran organizations, and it just wasn't working out. It wasn't what I want. Right? They weren't very active. And then when I got here and saw how much events this unit does, it's just incredible just to see it. The Wheelchairs for Kids golf tournament, I couldn't believe the turnout of business owners or just people out there supporting. So if you're a Marine out there, we're always recruiting because we're 100% volunteer, right? We can't do all these events without volunteers. And to me, the reason I stuck around, it made me feel like I had a purpose again versus just working and whatnot.
Right.
It makes you feel like you're
Giving
doing
back.
the service,
Yeah.
like when you were in the service.
Right.
And Chris, even if you're not a Marine, you can still join as an associate
Absolutely.
member. We had one of our Marines recently whose sister was an
Air Force.
retired Air Force, and she's joined us as an associate member. So just because you're not even been in the military, if you want to join our organization and help out with all these wonderful causes, we welcome you to join us
Where do y'all meet?
here in Crowley.
Well,
Yeah.
specifically where?
It's actually a 3-bedroom house on the corner. It's 1401 West Cleburne, and we meet the first Tuesday of every month from about 6 o'clock to 7. We have kind of some food and things, some socializing. Start the meeting at 7, and we end the meeting at 8 o'clock sharp.
Is this? Well, sure, because past your bedtime, you guys get up at 4 a.m., right? And,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Some of us don't
all that
sleep.
information, all that information for everything is out on our website.
is this somebody's home or just a building that y'all use?
Actually, it was a house that was donated to us.
okay.
The mayor of Cleburne donated some property, and we were able to move from that property to this house that we have in Crowley, and so it is paid for. It's completely. It's about 1.2 acres of land, and we are sponsors of a Boy Scout and Girl Scout troop. And so they use the facility also.
And we're working on getting a young Marine group.
Yeah, we're starting Young Marines.
We're very, very started like a month
just
ago.
getting started on.
So, of trying to get that set
Sounds
up.
like y'all are
So,
keeping pretty busy.
And to be
Yes.
honest, even checking out the house is pretty cool. It's a museum in there. There's so many different. We have glass shells with different equipment from Vietnam, World War II, all of that stuff.
A lot of memorabilia and whatnot.
Well, and there's actually a tour of the house on our posted underneath About Us, I believe, is where I put that link.
How about that?
Who was that came out? It was for like the Marines something or another. I forgot. It's posted on there probably.
Yeah, I think it was an interview that I did. So
Yeah, I mean, it was several years ago, but they came in and interviewed Jack and some of us and did a tour of the house. So you can actually see what's inside the house. Chris, you probably didn't even know that, did you?
No.
Well, y'all could put this YouTube version on your site. You know, that's certainly no problem for me. I mean, to do that, just to link it to on your site, because more views possible. All the views you can.
We're and I've been trying to get better about doing our blog posts, and recently posted one about what the Marine Corps League is, and we've got a couple people that are going to be showing up, hopefully, between now and our birthday celebration, at a bar, because we were born in a bar. So
Speaking of a bar, with the Marine Corps birthday being around the corner, the 250th Marine Corps birthday, reach out to us if you want to go to a ball or anything of that nature. But we also, the one I keep pushing is Hot Fusion Ale in Fort Worth. The owner is a Marine Corps veteran. Most of his staff is veterans, but he has a birthday celebration every year. He does the cake cutting ceremony, supports our detachment specifically quite a bit.
Where is this place at?
It's in Fort Worth, downtown.
Downtown.
Hot Fusion Ale Works.
Okay.
And the other cool thing is, at least to me as a Marine and many Marines, General John A. Lejeune started a lot of the traditions to include the birthday message. And the owner brings in his great grandkids
How many ever
that are
greats it
also
is.
Marines, as many greats as it is, to read the birthday message. And that's some powerful stuff.
I bet it is.
that was the most amazing thing last year, was to know that his grandchildren
His descendants,
were reading his message. That was just one of all my years of hearing it. That was probably one of the most unique things, was to have them come read that. And if you're not a Marine, you don't get it.
Oh, well, I bet I'd probably get some of it, but I know it means just that much more. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Being a former active duty Marine. I was about to go over a couple of nonprofit things, and one of them that just struck me was about some other avenue you could promote your Toys for Tots, maybe 88.3 The Journey with Rich Hooper.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. I know he's involved in these kind of things. I know that he
Please.
he wants to be part of the community. And he was on the show a week ago Monday, and they're doing their fundraisers. I think they're done for the week quarter. Well, they do like 3 a year. Like kind of like PBS does theirs. So 88.3 The Journey may be a good avenue which to contact, and maybe even if you don't have to go to the studio, you could probably do something over the phone, and he'll doctor it up, make it sound good, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, no, he's done that for me a couple of times, and he promotes. I have him promote the shows that aren't overtly political. Like this one, he'll tell people, hey, you want to check out what's going on, check out Mr. Allard's Neighborhood and that kind of business. But 88.3 The Journey may be a good avenue because it's right in your target area, I guess, of people you serve. And tonight at 6 o'clock, this will be on my little radio station, Community Radio, which is on TuneIn, Live 365, and I've always put a link in the Facebook. And so it'll be on 6 o'clock tonight, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so hopefully you get some coverage there. Most of the coverage comes from this as opposed to the radio, but that's fine. But also, we have something going on next week. That is the Harvest Brunch at the Harvest House from 10 to 11:30 at Pathway. There's a QR code. There's no cost to admission. There'll be an ask at the end, but there's no cost for admission. But they do like to know how many people are coming so they can prepare the breakfast and whatnot.
And share that on our website as well.
I mentioned this earlier. Who knows what's going to be happening with our situation with the shutdown a week from now, but it's going to get serious. Even if it was solved today, there's still going to be a lot of people that are going to be financially cramped. And so you're going to have citizens, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to step up. We can blame whoever you want. You can have all the opinions you want about it, but it doesn't matter. The impact, there's no debate about that. And so, so step up, guys, not just all these things.
I will say there are so many organizations out there that are stepping up to go above and beyond to help these families that are impacted. I logged on to my bank. I use USAA, and they've done like $150 million of
That's a lot of money.
loans or interest-free loans.
Oh, okay.
For those that are affected to help them do whatever. And I know they're probably not the only bank doing that. That just happens to be my bank that I logged on, and they had a big old banner about it. And I thought that was really...
that's where my credit cards are, yeah.
Really good place.
And I saw what you're talking about, yeah. Well, so before we leave, Jack, why don't you sum it all up for us in about 2 minutes? I know it's going to strain you. You already see this guy B&I. We like having to wave him off. All right, TikTok, Jack. Right.
Very passionate.
Yeah. So give us the summation here about Toys for Tots.
Okay, listen, there are so many people that need help, and we as Marines, they say that you can take the Marine out of the battlefield, but you can never take the battle out of a Marine.
Exactly right.
And we're fighting for these little kids, nationwide, and there's many families that are going to be embarrassed somewhat that they can't afford toys for their children, and this is a way to take care of that. So take a look at our poster and call one of the nonprofit organizations and register your need, and then on about the 14th or so of December, we'll be starting to distribute those toys to those families in need. So thank you so much, and God bless everybody for your participation in this incredibly benevolent program that we have called Toys for Tots by the Marines.
You want to finish?
I was just going to say, like I said, as a parent who received gifts for their kids, and you said you actually received gifts, Now that that's happened to me, and probably to you too, you try to pay it forward now that you can. So it goes back to that feeling of knowing that you're helping someone. And even if you've never been in that position, there's nothing that says you won't be it tomorrow. This government shutdown is a perfect example. None of these people thought they were going to be in the position they were going to be in, and to possibly not be able to afford these things. And now they can, and I'm sure they'll, like we do, remember the kindness of others to be able to, when they get back in a position again, to want to help others. And that feeling is, you know, you can never have too much goodwill, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's true there.
The only thing I got is to Marines, no Marine left behind is something very, very important. And
Yeah.
our motto for this, and we truly mean it, no child left behind. And we wouldn't be able to accomplish that mission if it wasn't for so many amazing people. This community, I've never seen so many business owners or just the community come together, and thank you for that.
And I'd say to all the business owners and all the people out there, I know that you're getting hit up. All I can say, well, there's a lot of people that have really great programs. All I'm saying is don't tire of doing good, okay? Don't get fatigued, all right? Find a way to help as many as you can, okay? Because I know there's going to, with this situation we were talking about with the government and blah, 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 you know, the need's going to be greater than probably we've had in a long time. And so I'd say to the citizens of Burleson or else is listening to this, don't tire of doing good, you know, and a small toy or $10 to Harvest House with Promises or Next Step, don't let the amount, you know, keep you from doing it, because $10 in God's hands is going to be a lot more money than you think.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And
So do the
going
right.
back to that, I've always felt that he provides what you need, and
But we're the hands and feet that do it. All right.
absolutely.
All right. You know, he's not going to drop toys from heaven. So we got to, you know, so this ain't that we're not out in the wilderness and dropping manna. So but I know I was talking to a couple of people and they said they want to help everybody. Well, help as many as you can. And, you know, and if you can't give $1,000, don't let that keep you from giving 10. All right?
Absolutely.
Okay. That kind of thing. Because it all adds up. Thank you, Josh. We kind of kept you busy today, didn't we?
A little bit. It's all right.
It's all right. Well, it keeps you awake, keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it keeps me young.
You still get toys for Christmas over there?
Oh gosh, no. It's socks and
Yes, I
gift
know.
cards. And
I
that's
tell
all.
you what, you know, you really crossed over when you're like 14 and now you're getting clothes at Christmas. Like, oh, Santa knew my size, did he? You know, so it's.
You say that. My son was like his first or second year being out of the house. He asked for toilet paper, socks, and underwear for Christmas.
Yeah. You know.
I'll never forget that. So we loaded him up, you know, a huge old box.
Our friend Aaron over at Cleveland says, hope you all have a blessed day today. Thank you, Aaron, for listening. I'll share this with your friends, you know, whatever media, you know, this Facebook page or YouTube. Next Monday, I'm going to talk about the Texas Constitutional Amendment election, which is still going on for early voting. So if you haven't voted yet, you can do so today or tomorrow or next Tuesday. And next Tuesday, I have Jeff Kelly on. We're going to talk about what those amendments might mean for homeowners, because there's about 3 or 4 that are amendments that are related to home ownership and property
the
taxes.
Homesteads and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. So we're going to talk about all that next week. So y'all take care, and we'll see you on December 3rd at the Burleson Stadium. Elk Stadium is what I mean.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Brad.
You bet.
Appreciate your help.
No
Very
problem.
good.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all.